Good afternoon, Sir Paul. My name is Divyashi, and in this video, I will be reflecting on my micro teaching experience, specifically focusing on the production stage of our integrated skills lesson titled Let's Talk, Eat, and Celebrate. So, the objective of our simulated lesson was to help Form 3 students to describe food using adjectives and comparative forms and to guide them produce a real task, which is creating and presenting a mind map about a chosen dish. So my assigned part was the production stage, where the students applied everything they learned from the set induction, listening tasks, and guided practice. During the production stage, my task was to guide students through a 20-minute activity where they worked in groups to choose a unique dish, create a mind map. Uh, the mind map should contain the dish name, origin, ingredients, adjectives, and at least one comparative sentence. So, in this production stage, they had to prepare a mind map and present their ideas to class. So, I began by setting the scene. By saying welcome to the mini food festival, which helped students to shift into a creative real life mode. And then I displayed an example of mind map to students so they can have a reference. So they can concentrate on a reference and do their mind map. So after that, I ensured they remain in their original groups to maintain the flow from the earlier task. And then I distributed three papers and color markers and repeated the instructions clearly that they have to use adjectives, comparatives, include ingredients, the origin, where is it from, the dish is where is it from, and then how does it taste, and yeah, at least one comparative sentence in their mind map about the dish. And then as they worked, I walked around the class and observed their progress, monitored their participation, and provided scaffolding to the weaker groups as well. And then, so now looking back, I feel the production stage was effective in helping students to apply the lesson objectives. Students were actively discussing and negotiating meaning, which reflects the Vygotsky's social constructivism theory. They weren't just recalling the adjectives and comparatives they have learned, they were using them in a purposeful and creative way. And then most groups, they actually showed high engagement. They actually discussed together, brainstormed together, asked questions to each other, and compared their ideas with each other, and made decisions together about which adjectives best describes their selected dish. And then this task actually shows evidence of communicative language teaching and authentic language production. So, however, I also noticed some challenges during this production stage where some groups actually took longer than expected to complete the mind map, and a few students were actually very dependent on me, only a few students. Uh, um, they were constantly asking approval before writing. They were asking me to check on their ideas, whether it's right or wrong. And then at some point, of course, the noise level was increasing a bit. It was a bit hard for other groups to concentrate during a noisy classroom, but yeah, still they managed to do the mind map. And they were actually genuinely excited for their presentation after creating the mind map. So, the strengths and weaknesses. First, I would like to tell about the strengths. Uh, the strengths I think is one is clear instructions and scaffolding. So I think I made sure the instructions were repeated in multiple ways, verbally, visually on the screen, and through the example of mind map. So this actually supported diverse learnings, like auditory learners, they can actually understand my verbal instructions, and for visual learners, I provided uh, instructions on my Canvas slides in the screen. That one is mainly for the visual learners to understand it. And then another strength is by using a fun phrase like mini food festival and linking it to earlier tasks. So I was able to have a smooth transition into production. So I help students understand the continuity of the lesson. And then the third strength I consider is like my strong classroom presence. So I moved around the class, I mingled with the students, I checked their progress and addressed students by name. And then this this kept them to this kept them on task and created a warm and supportive learning and atmosphere. I personally felt that. And then another strength is encouraged creativity and real life use of English language. So the use of mind maps allowed students to integrate writing and speaking, and also the visual creativity. Many groups were able to present confidently. Actually, the group representative, they were able to present it with confidence. So the weaknesses are the time management issues. I faced some time management issues. Some groups actually needed more time to complete their mind maps and prepare for the presentations as well. So I underestimated how long a creative task might take at from pre-level. And then uneven participation. Of course, there were some groups, like one or two students were quiet, didn't participate much unless I was nearby. They were participating a bit, and I felt like some of the students contributed less. So I think my facilitation could be improved to ensure equal involvement from all the students. So the classroom noise level during our group discussion time, the class got quite noisy. Although this shows engagement, it also affected focus for some groups. Some groups were disturbed by the noise. And then I think I overhelped some groups. Like, I was like, I was helping weaker groups too much. So I personally feel like my help, it would have reduced their opportunity to think independently by themselves. So the impact on students and adaptation. This production task had a strong impact on students because it allowed them to use English naturally rather than mechanically. Students with visual learning preferences thrived with the mind map, and more confident speakers enjoyed the group presentation part, while others improved their teamwork and communication. So I also adopted on the spot that for some groups they struggling with ideas, I asked guiding questions like, what ingredients does your dish use? So like, is it spicier than any other food? So for the noisy groups, I used proximity control by moving closer to remind them to stay focused. And for fast finishing groups, I challenged them to add extra details like the food texture, aroma, or culture. And then based on this reflection, I have identified several goals and steps for improving my teaching practice. So my first goal is I have to work on my time management. I have to improve my time management. So I think maybe I can use a visible countdown timer next time during the group activities. Uh, Another thing is maybe break the group production task into smaller time blocks, like brainstorming will have 2 to 3 minutes, writing 2 to 3 minutes, and finalizing is 1 to 2 minutes like that. And circulate the classroom earlier to identify groups falling behind. And then my second goal is increase equal participation. Uh, so to achieve this goal, I have to, as a teacher, I have to assign clear roles in group. So like I can help them to divide the task between the group members. Um, for example, I can choose one writer, one presenter, and one timekeeper from each group so that they can easily divide the task and also finish it under the given time quickly. And then I have to use a quick checklist to ensure every student has contributed something. And then to manage the noise level more effectively, I have to use non-verbal signs like raise hand or bell for resetting attention. And then set clear noise level expectations before the activity begins. My fourth goal is reduce over dependence. So like instead of asking instead of giving direct solutions, I can ask them guiding questions. So they can brainstorm by themselves when I ask them guiding questions. And then I can encourage peer help before teacher intervention. I can tell the students to help their group mates instead of depending on me, depending on the other teachers. So for the professional development plan, uh, I feel like I need to attend workshops on facilitating group work, observe mentor teachers, classroom management techniques, and also practice time controlled micro tasks in future lessons. So, in conclusion, this production stage experience taught me a lot about managing creative group tasks, uh, students' independence, and guiding meaningful language use. I realized that even with a good planned real classroom require constant adaptation, and that's what makes teaching dynamic and rewarding. So, I am grateful for this micro teaching experience opportunity because it allowed me to see my strengths clearly and understand where I still need growth, where am I room for improvement. So I am committed to improve my classroom management, time control, and facilitation strategies to so that future lessons are even more effective and student centered. Thank you for watching my reflection.